Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I'm going to be putting all of McCartney's albums into a tier list. This is all of his albums, so it's his solo stuff, it's his Wings stuff, it's blah blah blah. It's all McCartney's albums and we're going to put them in the tier list, so let's just get on with it. Right, this is going to be similar to the one I did with the Beatles, where they're going to be put in their place and then they'll kind of be loosely ordered within their tiers. So let's just get on with it with McCartney, his first studio album. Right, don't hate me, it's going in A, it's not going in S, and the only reason it's going in A is because, what is it, half of the songs are kind of just instrumentals. Now I understand what the album is, it is just McCartney on his own at home, other than I believe maybe I'm Amazed was actually recorded like in a professional studio. I may be wrong about that, if I am correct me, but I believe it was. Anyway, the songs that aren't instrumentals, because I'm just not personally a fan of kind of instrumental songs. They're just mainly just boring to me. That's all there is to it. It's not that they're bad, they're just kind of boring. And that's why it's not an S for me personally. It is, other than that, a great album, but again, it's just the instrumentals. I wouldn't listen to them, I'd skip them. Right, now we have Ram. Ram is it's an S tier album. It's a great album. Believe at the time it wasn't widely received that well, I'm not too sure, but it has aged brilliantly if that is the case, because it is a fantastic album. There is not really many bad, actually I don't think there is really a bad song on here. There's not a bad song on this album at all by any means. It's a great album, it's a solid album. There's definitely not really any bad songs on here, and some of the songs on here are some of the best he's ever done. Like, personally, I think Dear Boy is probably his best song on the album. It's a great song. Ram On, Too Many People, Heart of the Country, Monkberry Moon Delight. I mean, there is so many good songs on the album. It's definitely an S tier. Right, now we have Wildlife. Obviously, this was his first album with Wings. I don't think they really knew what they were doing together quite yet. The sound wasn't there. I don't think it's D. I think it's a C. I think it's a C tier album. Mumbo, the first track is no, not for me. Bit Bop, however, which is a song Paul McCartney, I believe, has said that he regrets recording. I actually like it. I quite like it. It's a stupid little song, and I don't mind it. Wildlife is a good song. I quite like it. It's a bit long, but it's alright. And Dear Friend is a good song. Tomorrow's alright as well. They're all alright. They're all right songs. You know, it's a C album. It is a C album. I don't think it's D. It's not that bad. It's a C album. Red Rose Speedway is probably, for me, going to be, it's either a very, very high C or it's a low B. And for now, it's going to go in the high Cs. It may get changed later on. It's not a bad album. Again, it's definitely better than Wildlife, but it's kind of boring, I think. I'm not going to lie. I think the best song on it is My Love, and that's kind of a mellow song. One More Kiss is a good song as well. And the medley at the end is quite good, but then obviously you've got songs like Loop, which... why? It's an alright album. I haven't got much to say about it. I'm not 100% familiar with it through and through like some of these other albums, because I do just find it kind of boring. I mean, come on, Band on the Run. It's got to be up here. Is it better than Ram? Oh, is it better than Ram? Is it? This is a very loose. Again, this is a very loose like order. Like the tiers themselves, that's solid, but the actual rankings within the tiers, it's a loose ranking. I'm gonna say it is better than Ram, but there's not much in it. There's not much in it. These are very, very equal albums. I mean, it's Band on the Run. If you guys are watching this, you're a fan of Paul McCartney, you know what it is. I don't have to explain it. It's Band on the Run. Right, Venus and Mars. I'm going to say I like it. It's an A album, I think. And I think it's better than McCartney. I'm not going to lie. The Venus and Mars Rock Show kind of medley. It's not a medley, but it leads in. Venus and Mars leads into Rock Show. And those two combined, I always combine them because they're great songs. I love them. Rock Show is a brilliant song. The Venus and Mars reprise is probably better than the actual Venus and Mars. Then you've got Letting Go on here, and I mean, even like You Gave Me the Answer and Call Me Back Again. Listen to what the man said. Right, yeah, come on, it's an A. It's not an S because, well, what is on here? Medicine Jar, Spirits of Ancient Egypt, they're all right. It's not brilliant. They're not great songs. They're not amazing, but they're all right. So it's not an S. It is not as good as Ram, and it's not as good as Band on the Run. But I'd say it's better than McCartney. It's an A. It's an A album. It's good. Wings at the Speed of Sound. I think we're about to have our first B here. Let 'Em In, Beware My Love, Silly Love Songs, Warm and Beautiful. Mwah. Ooh, good songs. Lovely. Love it. Beautiful. But then you get things like, I don't know, Cook of the House. It's not great, and then it's really not great, and then you get like The Note You Never Wrote as well. They're all okay. Cook of the House is not even alright. I don't like Cook of the House. I can't. I'm sorry, Linda. I know you tried, and that's fine, and I do like your backings and a lot of other songs, but Cook of the House just wasn't the one. It ain't the one, Chief. The Note You Never Wrote is better than that, but it's not great. However, the other songs on here I think make it a B. I'm not actually that sure on other people's opinions on this album because I see a lot of mixed. I see one kind of reviewer saying it's the worst album he ever made, and then you get someone else going, it is beautiful. But what's Band on the Run? Listen to Wings at the Speed of Sound, boy. For me, it's a B. I think, yeah, yeah, it's a B. It's great. Move on. Back to the Egg. Oh, this is a hard one. I love Baby's Request on here. I quite like Old Siam Sir as well. That's a good song. But then you got the Broadcast. Like, why is that there? And then like Reception, the lead in is just kind of why. I think it's probably better than Red Rose Speedway, but I think it kind of falls into the same fate of Red Rose Speedway as just being just kind of boring. Like Arrow Through Me as well. That's good, but yeah, it's all right. I don't think it's as good as the Wings of the Sound of Speed. I think it's probably better than Red Rose Speedway, but again, just falls into the same kind of trap. It's just a little bit boring. I don't know. Sorry, Paul. I do love you, but right now we have London Town, and unfortunately, what I chose to do when I ranked all these albums, like from worst to best, the songs, like if you've been watching those videos, I chose to do the original releases as they were, and that's what I'm kind of sticking to as I'm doing this. Without Mull of Kintyre on this, which the original release didn't have, it might go there. I haven't a lot to say about London Town. Like, London Town's okay, you know, Girlfriend is okay, Calf on the Left Bank is okay, they're just okay, with a little luck, it's okay. Mull of Kintyre is missing. It was on the bonus version or something. It was a bonus track on some kind of bonus version. I don't know, but it wasn't on the original release, and that's why. If Mull of Kintyre was on this, it could have got the album up to here somewhere, but it's not. It's there. Go away. Right, McCartney 2. I really like McCartney 2, and it surprised me. When I properly first listened to McCartney 2 all the way through, it surprised me because hearing the single songs on their own. So the first time I ever heard Coming Up or Waterfalls, I was like, yeah, no, that's not for me. Especially Waterfalls. That took a long time to grant me, that song. But now knowing the songs and listening to it from start to finish, unfortunately, like, there's Front Parlour and Frozen Jap, which, again, they're just kind of instrumentals which bore me. Unfortunately, it's just not for me. But the rest of the songs are really quite good. I don't know, they're unique and they're different, and Apple Music says that the genre is rock, but I'm telling you it's not. But I don't know, they're just good. I don't know, they just worked. They're not as good, the songs aren't as good as Ram or Band on the Run, but I think they are better than Venus and Mars. Oh, do I? Yeah, no, they're about equal, I'd say, but I'm going to put him in front. Again, loose. This is loose. But yeah, McCartney 2. It's McCartney 2. Come on. Okay, Tug of War. It's a B, I think, but it's a better B than Wings at the Speed of Sound. It's got some good songs on here, like Tug of War. Here Today is one of my favourite songs. Wanderlust is okay. But then the rest is kind of again meh. Even like this might be an unpopular opinion, and I don't know, but Ebony and Ivory is so boring. And I know it was a massive hit, but I think it's so boring. It's okay, it's good, it's all right, but it just drones on. It could have been a minute shorter, and it would have been better. But the album's still a B. It's still better than this. It's still better than this lot. Okay, give my regards to Broad Street, which was an album I didn't actually do a ranking from the worst song to the best song, just because I only wanted to really do the proper studio albums, and this was more of a soundtrack to the film album. This is hard for me to place because the songs are remixes. So on here you've got Yesterday, and you've got For No One and Eleanor Rigby and The Long and Winding Road, but you haven't got them in their full potential because they're not as good as they originally were as the Beatles. We all know that. They're still not bad at all as they are done on this album, as Paul Reed did them, but they're just not as good. And it kind of, if it was the first time they were ever released, say Yesterday, Here, There and Everywhere, For No One and Eleanor Rigby, if they were never made, if they were brand new songs and they came out on this album, it would be like, whoa, look at those, they're good songs. But where they're the remixes of something much greater, it's difficult to place this. No More Lonely Nights, which is one of the original songs on here, is actually really good and I really like it. But it's hard, it's really hard for me to place this. I'm gonna put it. It's in C. I'm just debating where in C it's gonna go. It's better than London Town. It's better than Wildlife, and it's probably around. It's gonna be around there somewhere. It's all right. All right, press to play. It's the first D. I know it is the first D. It's okay. But it falls into more of an like it's even worse than London Town in the okay section, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just kind of boring. Like, nothing really stands. Looking at the songs on the album right now, nothing stands out. Like, Angry, I quite like. It's kind of different for Paul, but I like it. The rest is just kind of like meh. It's very forgettable songs, and not a lot stands out. But it's not I never listened to because I've listened to it, but not a lot stands out. Okay, Pipes of Peace. It is difficult. Pipes of Peace is either gonna be. It's better than Tug of War, I think. I think it is better than Tug of War, but do I think it's that much better than Tug of War? The answer is no, I do not. But it is better, but it's not quite A. You've got like the duets with Michael Jackson, which Say and The Man, they're really good songs. The title track, Pipes of Peace, it's a really good song. But then like Tug of Peace is just a bit meh. Average Person is alright. So it has some really good songs, but then it has more middling kind of songs that's letting it down. Right, Flowers in the Dirt is an album I enjoy, but it's still kind of, in regards to the rest of what we've got on here, kind of dull. Again, Paul, if you're watching this, because I'm sure Paul McCartney spends his time watching random people, rank his albums, his life work, and give their thoughts and opinions when they couldn't even make Press to Play. But anyway, I do love the songs, but they're boring. They don't stand out. They're kind of just standard Paul McCartney rock, and it's like, they're good, but then compare them to Band of the Run, or Ram, or even Songs of McCartney 2, or Venus and Mars, blah, blah, blah. It just falls its way down. However, I do think it's good out of the McCartney kind of standard dull rock. I think it's good. It's the top tier of that, if you know what I'm saying. So let's just leave it at that. Okay, we've got Mr. Russian album. It's okay. It's probably better than Press to Play. I like it for having 20 Flat Rock on it, and I don't mind the Kansas City kind of that he's done on here, but other than that, it's boring, and I forget a lot of it, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. Off the Ground is another one of these kind of, it's it might be in D. It's just forgettable. It's so just forgettable. There's nothing that's really that standing out in my head. It's just there. It's not terrible. It's not the worst. And if any other artist had come out with this that wasn't Paul McCartney, it'd probably be heralded higher. But it is Paul McCartney, and you kind of hold him to a higher standard. So, okay, Flaming Pie. It's probably about there. I'm not putting it in S, and I should be actually looking up. I don't think anything else will go in S, to be honest. But yeah, I like Flaming Pie. Flaming Pie is a good album. The songs we were singing, Calico Skies, Flaming Pie, obviously. Hell on a Sunday, Beautiful Night, Souvenir. It's really good. And obviously you've got the work with Jeff Lynne and even songs with Ringo playing drums. It's just a really solid album, and it is probably better than McCartney 2. It's just a good album. It's not boring either. That's the difference. It's good and it's not boring. Whereas you get like Flowers in the Dirt is good. It's alright. It's good, but it's kind of boring and it doesn't stick out. Flaming Pie is good and it's not boring. It's good. And it's going in A. And it's going to the top of A as well. Alright, Run Devil Run. It's going there. I've never listened to it because I know it's all kind of covers and stuff. And I think I've heard like the Ultra Cup cover and I've heard the Lonesome Town cover. But the rest I've not really listened to. I haven't got much of an opinion on it and it's going to stay in there. Hello Driving Rain. Goodbye Driving Rain. Right, Chaos and Creation. Do I talk about that? No, look, we all know it's boring. It's so dull. It's probably the worst. Right. Chaos and Creation, really, really good, really good, really good. It's probably an A, and it's a difficult A. It might be there. It might be there. These songs are really nice, and they're really chill, and they're kind of just... I mean, the vibe of Paul McCartney sat there with his guitar in his back garden, it is the album. You know, if you've not listened to this for whatever reason, just put it on. It's really chill, it's really nice, it's not too heavy, the songs are great, there's not much on it that isn't good. It's a nice, solid album. Right, Memory Almost Full is probably gonna be B, but near the top, it's probably... See, these first two I've got here, Pipes of Peace and Tug of War, they're very, very close, and Memory Almost Full is going to be very, very close with them as well. I'm just going to stick it slap bang there, but again, this is a very loose rating. I like Memory Almost Full, and it's alright. It's better than this lot, and it's very on par with this lot. That's what, do you know what I mean? It's not boring. And it's definitely got some really good stands out, like Mr. Bellamy. I don't know how anyone else feels about that song at all. I've never ever heard anyone else speak about it, but I really love it. It's a really, really good song. And then obviously you got Dance Tonight and things like House of Wax. The End of the End is a really like sad kind of song to listen to in a way, but I don't know. It's a really solid album. There's some kind of stuff on it that's just a bit meh, like Vintage Clothes. It's just like, no, leave me alone, I don't want to listen to you. But other than that, it's kind of solid. It's better than this lot. It's staying in B. Kisses on the bottom. Might have to go in D just for the name, but it's alright. It's probably top of D. It's My Valentine is a really good song, and that's on there. But other than that, it's all kind of... I think a lot of them are covers. I'm not wholly familiar with if they are or not. I believe they are, because obviously he's got Baby's Request on here, which is a cover of his own song, and just not as good as the one on Back to the Egg. But then, like, I know My Valentine is an original, so I think it may just be a mix of covers and non-covers, but it's kind of just there. He's alright. I wouldn't, yeah, okay, yeah. New is quite good. New is about there, I want to say. New is about there. No, New is about there. I don't know. New is... It's in there somewhere. It's hard to rank. It's got some really good songs on here, like Queenie Eye and Early Days and Appreciate, which I really, really like. And then the rest are just kind of... Yeah, they're good. They're kind of just standard rockers. But I wouldn't say they're as boring, kind of dull standard rockers as maybe on Flowers in the Dirt. So yeah, it's B. Egypt Station was actually one of the first Paul McCartney albums I've ever listened to. So it holds a kind of special place in my heart. So this is really, really personal and biased, but it's going in A. I just really like it. It's the first kind of album I listened to from Paul McCartney. It's great. It's great. I mean, I don't know. Come on to me. Who cares for you? Come on. It's brilliant. Do it now. Come on. It's brilliant. It's got a few weird songs, like Frank Sinatra's Party. I really like, but it's really weird. And then it's got kind of like the opening station and then the second station or whatever it is, which is a bit like, or station 2, that's it. It's like, it's just, that's 50 seconds of my life. I just didn't need to be listening to that, but it's fine. It's still there. It's still good. And last but not least, because we're not doing this Wings Greatest, it's because it's a compilation album and I just don't see the point in ranking that because it's a mix of songs that we've already now ranked. McCartney 3 was the first album of Paul's that I was kind of a heavy fan of his when it was released. Like, I'm a young guy, you know, I'm 21, so, like, a lot of these were released way before I was even born. Memory almost thought I was 6, so, you know, I'm not really listening to Paul McCartney. So whereas Egypt Station was the first album I listened to of his, because it was released in 2018, and that was around the time I started listening to Paul as a solo artist, maybe in 2019, somewhere around there. McCartney 3 was the first one that came out when I was actually a good fan and I knew a lot of his work and I really like it. And I can't put it in S because it's not as good as this stuff. But I'm putting it in A, and I'm putting it at the top of A. I really like McCartney 3. I don't know how other people feel about it, but it's so good. I don't know whether that's just because it came out and I got to experience it when it came out. I remember all the adverts for it, all the like little trailers with the intro to Long Tail Winter Bird being played, or the little Kiss of Venus snippet, and it's just so kind of nostalgic now. And it's like, I don't know, I just love the album. There's not a song on it I don't like. Even I'd say like the weakest song on the album, maybe, I don't know what it would even be. Maybe Lavatory Lil, maybe even that I like though. And I haven't got around to doing the ranking of worst to best for McCartney 3 yet. It's going to be so difficult because I don't know. Because I like them all. I like them all. They're all so good. I don't know how other people feel about the album, but it's going in A and it's my list, so it's staying in A. And if you don't like it, well, that sucks to be you. Right, that was my tier ranking. If you watched this far, fair enough. I probably wouldn't have. But thank you for doing so. If you have any suggestions in the comments for a video for me to do, please do let me know. Right, see you later.